I'm Vic Campbell of Me3TV, and I want to introduce an author to you from our area of the world here in Santa Rosa County, Florida, Gaylier Miller. Gaylier is a PhD in education and taught English and headed English departments in our local universities, and over the years has absorbed the history of her family and others and the pioneers and the Indians of this area, and the next thing you know, she's come to a point of having several books now, with Wading Deer as maybe one of the most recent anchors in this series. Gaylier, we're going to be presenting a longer interview with you at me3tv.org, and I hope people will click to that and take a look at it. But what can you tell us that we should look for in Wading Deer? What are we going to find out?
First of all, you're going to find out that Wading Deer represents an Indian culture that was here long before any of us. And maybe you're going to find out, if you didn't already know, that many of you as readers may be related to him.
And what other cultures show up in your books?
Three main cultures. The book is a clash of cultures in a very traumatic time, right after the Civil War in Northwest Florida. And there's, of course, the blacks, that had been freed and really had no place to go. No one provided that for them. And then the Scottish settlers who had started coming in down in some as early as the 1820s, but many more after that. Then after the Civil War, more moved in. And then there were, of course, the Indians who were here centuries before. And some of the Indians that were in the area of Santa Rosa County at that time may have come from diverse places. Some had grown up and their ancestors had around in the area, I suppose. There's so many little tribes with different names. Some of them were my own ancestors. I did not know this at the time, but they had managed to escape from Tocobachi Town. And if you know anything about Andrew Jackson and his Indian Wars, you know that were among other little towns there in Alabama, that they were burned and destroyed as people refused to leave and go to the reservations. My family was fortunate. I don't know everything about them, but I know that somehow at least Sam Clark and his family escaped, made it to Conecuh County. It took me years and years to find this out. And from that, my Scott ancestor, Isaac McGaha, met when he came down in 1837 for that last Seminole War, I think it was called, which wasn't really much of a war at that time. He met an Indian called Melissa Clark, and he married her, and that was my own Indian heritage, which isn't in this book, but which is represented in the character of Wading Deer.
And when you start to read the book, you're going to find out about this conch shell. It's on the cover of the book, and it's a big mystery. I'm looking forward to everybody taking a close look. The interview will be posted at me3tv.org, and look for it there. Thanks.